7th September 2022. Morning Murli, Shanti, BapDada, Madhuban. Sweet children, imbibe the Father's teachings and become virtuous flowers. You have received the enlightenment of knowledge, therefore remain constantly cheerful. Question: what deep and entertaining things about you children do people become confused about when they hear them? Answer. First point. You see, we are now decorations of the Brahman clan, spinners of the discus of self-realization. We are those who blow the conch shell of knowledge. We are Trinetri and Trikaldarshi. All the ornaments given to the deities actually belong to us. When people hear these things, they become confused. Second point, you see, the knowledge that the Father gives us through this one's mouth is the blowing of the conch shell. It is through this that we are becoming deities from human beings. This is called the Murli. It is not a wooden flute. People find this are very deep and entertaining things, difficult to understand. Song. This is the spring to forget the world. Shanti. Sweetest, godly children, know that this is the most elevated spring season for us. All the flowers, etc., bloom in spring. This is the unlimited spring season. You are being showered with the rain of knowledge. So, from died thrones, you are becoming flowers. Only you know this. Number wise, according to the efforts you make. Some remain very happy that they are becoming flowers from thrones with the rain of knowledge. When a tree becomes completely dry, not a single leaf remains. This happens every year. Then, in the rainy season, there are beautiful leaves and flowers. Therefore, the spring season of the rain of knowledge is first class. This is now the world of thorns. The tree says, I have become a tree of thorns, and then, with the rain of knowledge, I became a tree of flowers. Each one of you is living tree. You have now received the enlightenment of knowledge with which you claim a high status. Look what you became from what you were. You know that you are now becoming pure from impure. Vishnu is the dual form. A vision is also given of the form of a couple. They have shown Vishnu with 4 arms, but he doesn't have any knowledge. The two forms come together and perform a dance. The Father explains when it is Diwali, Mahalakshmi means 4-armed Lakshmi comes. You invite both of them. Lakshmi is in front and Narayan is behind her. Lakshmi has 2 arms and Mahalakshmi has 4 arms. It is now that you know these things. Previously, you didn't know them at all. You were completely like thorns and you are now becoming flowers. It is mentioned in the Granth that it didn't take God long to change human beings into deities. Deities exist in the golden age. They have divine virtues. Human beings at this time have devilish qualities, whereas you have godly virtues. God sits here and makes you virtuous. Through Baba's teachings, we are becoming full of all virtues. There is praise of Bharat. That is, there is a lot of praise sung of the people who live in Bharat, but they don't know who it was that made them like they are. They build big temples, but they don't know the occupation of those that build the temples too. You have now become greatly enlightened. You have to remain very cheerful. There, you will remain cheerful for 21 births. You know that you are studying the study to claim your status for 21 births. You earn an income by studying knowledge. This is your godfatherly student life. You became the masters of the Sun Dynasty clan. That is, you became the masters of heaven. Even in the pure world, not everyone claims an equal status. It isn't just one Lakshmi and Narayan who rule the kingdom. No one knows that there will just be the dynasty and also the kingdom. There were those of the Sun and Moon dynasties. Shivbaba established a new world. There is darkness and the intellects of the people of this world. You have light. There is the pure world and the impure world. There is the number-wise status in the pure world. The status of the subjects will also be number-wise. There everyone has nothing but happiness. Each one has his own kingdom or his own land. In the impure world, all are impure, but it is number-wise. For instance, in the Golden Age, the highest on high dynasty is that of Lakshmi and Narayan. Princess Radhe and Prince Krishna became Lakshmi and Narayan after their marriage. It would be called the dynasty of Lakshmi and Narayan. It wouldn't be called the dynasty of Radhe and Krishna. It is the name of the king that is mentioned. No one knows even such a small thing. All of you know it number-wise. Status in a kingdom is number-wise. There is a vast difference between the Sun Dynasty kingdom and those subjects who became cremators. It is number-wise even in the impure world. The Father is now explaining the philosophy of action, neutral action, and sinful action to you. The Father says, children, follow my Srimad. There are many children whom Baba has never even seen. They are doing very good service among themselves. They continue to give the Father's introduction. They even managed to run a center without an appointed Brahmin teacher. They haven't even met the Father personally, and yet they carry out service and make others equal to themselves. Those who are personally in front of Baba don't do as much service. You have to teach the spiritual pilgrimage. You are spiritual guides. You also show the path. Oh, souls, remember the Father. It is said that souls remain separated from the Father for a long period of time. There is that account too. They prove the long period of time. You are the ones who have been separated for the maximum time. You belong to the Sun and Moon dynasties. You have taken 84 births in the cycle of rebirth. It cannot be 84 births for everyone. Your children remain under the shower of knowledge. This is your student life. Some take up another course while looking after their homes and families. Here, it is just a question of purity. You just have to remember the Father and your inheritance and also study. You definitely do have to become pure. It is said that the milk of alliance can only be contained in a golden vessel. The Father also says that without purity you cannot imbibe knowledge. That is why Baba says, conquer this great enemy of lust. Become pure. Recognize me. Only then can I open the locks on your intellects. Until you become pure and decorations of the Brahmin clan, you won't imbibe anything. You, decorations of the Brahmin clan, are spinners of the discus of self-realization. No one else can understand this. People think that the deities were spinners of the discus of self-realization. They ask, who are these people who say that they are the decorations of the Brahmin clan and spinners of the discus of self-realization? Only you children understand these things. These are very deep and entertaining things. You blow the conch shell of knowledge. Deities didn't do that. They became deities by having heard Shivbaba blow the conch shell. Shivbaba is knowledgeful, but how could you give him the conch shell? He would definitely give you knowledge through someone's mouth. The things he speaks is called the Murli. It isn't a wooden flute. The Murli of knowledge is being played now. People think that worshipping devotion, etc., have continued from time immemorial. But nothing can continue from time immemorial. They say that Rakshabandhan, etc., have continued from the beginning of time. Okay, from the beginning of time means when? Tell us that at least. Did God create an impure world? So, why do you call him the purifier? By studying points should enter your intellects every day. You also have to practice opening your mouth. When speaking this knowledge, you can explain to many others. You have to create methods for your own progress. Just as Baba shows everyone the path, so we then have to show it to everyone. Only then we will claim our inheritance from the Father. However, we won't be able to claim our inheritance by making a lot of noise. The Father feels a lot of mercy. He explains so much that it is not in the fortune of some children. You are receiving so many jewels. There is a lot of expansion of the jewels. There is a lot of difference between jewels. Some are valued at 100,000 rupees and some at 1 rupee. These are the imperishable jewels of knowledge which you imbibe and then inspire others to imbibe, and you thereby claim a high status. Only jewels should constantly emerge from the mouths of your children. Even if your intellects understand these things, but you don't speak about them, what would their value be? Those who make effort and make others equal to themselves will also receive a lot of fruit. To do the service and teach others is not a small service. Your intellects have now received enlightenment. Who is the wealthiest of all? They would mention 10 or 12 names. You know who the main ones are in this drama. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, Shiv, is the creator, director, and principal actor. The highest on high is shivbaba, and then there are the residents of the subtle region and the corporeal world. You know those things at this time. The duration of the cycle is not hundreds of thousands of years. The duration of each cycle is only 5,000 years. People are in so much darkness. You have now come away from the darkness of ignorance into so much light. Some have come into the light, whereas others are still lying in the darkness. Everything here is a question of the intellect. Those who have broad and unlimited intellects quickly understand a soul is like a star. Something big would not be able to stay in the center of the forehead. It must definitely be something that can't be seen with these eyes. If it were a big thing, it could be seen. A soul is extremely subtle, like a point. These are the deepest things. In the beginning, you were told that a soul is the element of light. If you had been told in the beginning that it is like a star, you wouldn't have been able to understand. He would not give you all the knowledge in just one day. Day by day, the Father tells you very deep things. You receive a lot of wealth from the ocean of knowledge. For as long as you live, you have to continue to drink the nectar of knowledge. It is not a question of water. The Ganges of knowledge emerge from the ocean of knowledge. That is an ocean of water. They say that the Ganges is eternal. That bathing in water has continued. You used to see how, when daughters went into trance, they would dance by the river Ganges and Jamuna. Here, you are afraid that you may drown. There is no question of drowning, etc. There, there, there cannot be accidents there. Therefore, this is the spring season when you become diamonds from shells from and pure from impure. When the pure world is created, the impure world will definitely have been destroyed. They haven't completely shown everything in the Mahabharata. They have shown that the Pandavas went onto the mountains and melted there, that they had a dog with them. Did the Pandavas also keep dogs as pets? You don't keep dogs as pets. People give so much respect to dogs. Many people have dogs as pets. The father is explaining to your children that you have to remain very cheerful. You are being showered with knowledge daily. You know how Baba comes and showers you with knowledge. He only comes in Bharat. This is why there is great praise of Bharat. Bharat is an imperishable land. Bharat is the birthplace of the eternal Father. No one knows shivbaba who purifies everyone. They say that God is beyond name and form and is omnipresent. They have spoken about so many different things. The Father says, I come, I definitely have to create Brahmins. People say that they are the children of Brahma and that is why they are called Brahmins. However, people have forgotten what shivbaba did when he came and how he created the mouth-born creation of Brahma. Since you know that shivbaba came and that he is the creator, he must definitely have created a new creation. No one knows this. Because of not knowing this, they continue to insult him. Therefore, the Father says, I come when there is extreme irreligiousness. Who said this? Krishna did not say this. It is at this time the Krishna soul knows that he takes 84 births. Those who pass and are transferred take birth first. Your intellects have been enlightened so much. When someone has an eye operation, they remove one eye and replace it with another, and then the blind person is able to see. Some are left with defects. Baba has come to give you souls the eyes of knowledge that have now finished. Your eyes of knowledge are now opening. The third eye is one of knowledge. They have shown deities with a third eye. All the ornaments, such as the discus, etc., have been given to Vishnu. In fact, the third eye is that of your Brahmins. You are the most elevated decoration of the Brahmin clan. There are the deity clan and the devilish clan. Whether you call it a clan or a caste, it is the same thing. There is only one knowledge. These are such good things, but they are not mentioned in any of the scriptures. You have now become Trikaladarshi, Trinetri, and Swadarshan Chakradhari. You are those who make effort to remain as pure as a lotus. You know that the eyes of some have opened very well and that the eyes of others continue to open now. Eventually, they will open 100%. The jewels of knowledge will continue to emerge from your mouth. Only then will you be called Roop and Basant. You now have to make effort. You should make effort and as much as possible become very cheerful, mature, have broad and unlimited intellects in knowledge and content experience happiness. You are receiving the inheritance of heaven. And so, what else do you want? You should celebrate with so much happiness. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says, Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, stay constantly under the shower of knowledge. Become a spiritual guide and show everyone the path. Only let jewels of knowledge emerge from your mouth. Second point, churn the ocean of knowledge Remain constantly cheerful and mature with a broad and unlimited intellect and experience happiness and enable others to do the same. Blessing, may you be a conqueror of attachment and a trustee who is free from sorrow while earning money and fulfilling your responsibilities to your relations. Explanation: to fulfill your responsibilities to local relatives while living among them is a different matter from being attached to them. To be a trustee and earn income is one thing, and to earn because of attachment is another thing. The sign of someone's being a conqueror of attachment and a trustee is that there is no name or trace of sorrow or peacelessness. Let there be no waves of sorrow, even if there is fluctuation in your earning income or if someone becomes ill while you are fulfilling your responsibilities to your relatives. Constantly be a carefree emperor. Slogan: a merciful person is one who continues to give courage and strength to weak souls. Om Shanti